Hey guys, how you doing? This is Kate the Blessed Driver here, and so I wanted to kind of talk with you guys briefly about planning your next move outside of the app-based gig community, especially if you're doing delivery and rideshare and stuff. Because I know last week on the Uber platform there was a serious issue with people wanting to cash out instantly, and I was intending on doing a video right then, especially while it was happening. However, I just didn't feel the need to do so, only because I really wasn't doing Uber too much last week. I think I did like 3 deliveries in the whole week, so I really wasn't too concerned about cashing out per se. But it was like a serious issue and it was crazy. And so, but before I get into that, I want to thank you guys that came on live last week. I did a live video, and so I shared with you guys some things about a friend of mine who passed away, and I didn't know she had passed away, and so I haven't talked to her in so long. And so I just want to thank you guys just want to thank you guys for being there and just listening, and also hearing some of my testimony. And so it was a breath of fresh air, and so it took a little bit of time for me to heal, but I'm doing great. So I want to thank you guys for at least listening and just being respectful even on the live video, because that was great. But back to what I was saying. So yeah, apparently, like, it seems like Uber's been having some issues with people wanting to cash out. And the first thing about that is, there have been some people that have been commenting and making, funny comments and suggestions saying, hey, well, why do you guys need to cash out every day? Why do you need to cash out multiple times a day? Why don't you just wait till the next week? And there's other platforms that allow you to cash out the same day. But I know with DoorDash, you can only cash out once a day. However, when it comes to stuff like that, I feel like that's that person's prerogative, how many times they feel like they want to cash out. If they would, because with Uber, you're only allowed to cash out 5 times a day as of now. And so, and of course there was a fee, but this week they waived the fee, the 50 cents fee that they won't charge because of the issue that they had with the app glitch. And so, like, I was in some groups, y'all, and I was rolling on some of the comments because they were funny, and some of the comments weren't, because some people were in some dire straits. And like, there was this one guy, he was at a gas station. He said he literally ran out of gas, getting ready to cash out his earnings. He couldn't because the app was down, so he was actually stuck at a gas station with no gas. And so my thing is, I hope that you guys never get to that point to where you don't, like, have nothing, and once you get ready to cash out to do what you got to do, then you don't have anything left over to take care of your bills. And so this is why, like, it's good to be on more than one platform, or at least get a part-time or full-time job and do it and do this part-time if you can, if you're able to. And so as I said to you guys in my previous videos, like, I've done a couple of videos about this, especially for those who can do this full-time. Some of you guys can do this full-time, and even if you don't cash out once a day or every couple of days, you'll still be fine, because you still have a nest egg. You still have extra money left over to be able to take care of your odds and ends, your bills, your gas, like whatever you got to do. And then some of you guys are like, okay, if I don't cash out today, I'm not gonna be able to pay my lights, I'm not gonna be able to pay my cell phone bill, I'm not gonna be able to pay my kids' daycare, like, whatever. And so that's kind of scary in a way, because, like, I've been there. And so for me personally, I chose not to live like that, and I felt like it was adding too much stress. And believe it or not, you guys, like, a lot of this stuff, like a lot of these predicaments that we're in, especially on these platforms, we don't really have to. Some of you guys have to, and like even myself, I kind of had to for a season. And so for me, as I said before, like, I pray about it, and the Lord directed me to get a job. And so I have to, like, this is where I am, but I'm still going to be doing the platforms part-time, but I need stability, like, I need consistency. And so, if you find yourself in a place where it's just not working out and you're able to get, like, a job, then do that. And I did a video earlier this year, I think it was earlier this year or late last year, and it basically said, how do you know when it's time for you to get a real job? And it gave the details about that. You guys can always look up the video, I have to find it. And then I also did a video a couple months ago about, actually about a month ago, about, when people automatically assume, hey, why don't you get a real job? And so it kind of goes both ways. So, it may work out for you guys. And then for some of you guys, you know deep down you have to get a job. And so you have to kind of weigh your own options. You have to kind of see where you are in your own personal life and to see what you're able to afford, you know, what you're able to do. Because a lot of you guys have kids. Some of you guys are taking care of like someone that's elderly in your family, or maybe you have other obligations that won't allow you to work a job. And you know, it's not just 9 to 5, but just maybe a job period where you have to work a specific schedule, and so you just can't hop on and hop off the app. And so and then some of you guys are able to, you know, do what you want to do and without having any other responsibilities outside of what you're doing. And so you have to kind of like think about what you want to do. You know what I mean? And so, like I said, if you find yourself in this place where you're just like struggling and you're cashing out like all the time, and if it's slow in the area, and like, you know, you're not getting any rides or you're not doing any deliveries, then that's a concern. And so at least for me, since it's my opinion, at least for me, like I would at least start searching if you are able to do that, you know. And if not, you know, then best wishes to you. You know, just try to do what you can. But that was really scary last week. I mean, I heard some stories, I've seen some stories. People have said some crazy stuff, and they're just like, man, you know, I have like, you know, no lights in my house because I couldn't pay my light bill and stuff. And I understand that a lot of people are going, you know, from day to day, and some people can, you know, can manage to cash out every week without having to cash out every single day. Everybody's different, and so no one can judge you for that. But I just wanted to let you guys know that this is really, for some people, not all of you, only for some of you guys, like this is a season for you guys to start planning. Really start planning your future if you're not already. You know, looking at other options as far as your career, business-wise, if you guys are trying to start a business, and just looking at your future and looking at, you know, retirement options, you know, because I'm telling you guys, like, even if the economy goes down, or maybe if there's like a natural disaster, whether it's a storm or, you know, anything that could jeopardize you making money, if you have a job, employment somewhere, even if something happens with the economy or whatever, you know, you still might be able to work, but at least you'll have that as your main source of income, and then you have these gigs on the side to sustain you just in case, you know, or to fall back on. But if you are struggling, and if something happens out there and you guys are doing this, and then it's like, if it's slow, what are you going to do? Especially if you're so used to cashing out all the time. And I think that's kind of where a lot of us are, is that we're so used to cashing out all of the time. And so if it gets slow, or if there's like a glitch in the app, whatever the case is, and most of us are screwed, you know what I mean? And so I think a lot of people don't want to admit that they have to get a job. Some people don't want to. I mean, but I'm just talking about for the people who are able to do that. Some of you guys can't because you have children, or you have just different reasons why you can't. And so, and I totally understand that. But I mean, I just felt really bad for some of the people who were going through it. And definitely, you should never be in a place where you are so low on gas, especially doing this, to where, you know, you you know what I'm saying, like, you don't go on E, because you never know when it's going to be a time where these apps will go down, when something will happen to where it's slow. Like, anything can happen. At least have something on reserve. And so I don't know how any of you guys are with your finances. It's not my place to say. You know, all of us are in a different place as far as budgeting, investing, saving, and things like that. And so, but that's something to start thinking about, is if you're struggling like that on these type of platforms, especially when there's like no security, no benefits, no nothing, it's time to start looking elsewhere. That might be something better for you to do. You know what I mean? Because I was like, man, like, you know, and even though like I wasn't in some of the situations like other people, like I was pretty close to it. And excuse me, that's why, you know, I just thank God he's been so good to me. He's been so faithful, just opening up a door, because I need that. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but these doors started to open. And so sometimes you have to do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do. But these app-based opportunities are great for people who are able to do it full time, you know, because I've done it for so long. But now things are starting to turn, because these seasons for me are changing. Like, these seasons are changing right now. And so even today, and I'll do another video after this one, I was at a university with my son. here in Florida, and it's a very nice prestigious university, like one of the top universities. And so we went, and it was great. The on-campus tour and everything, and the cost is very expensive, but he can still get scholarships and grants and everything like that. But I'm saying, just in case I got to do something out of pocket, I want to make sure that I'm able to do that, and also being able to have flexibility and not having to be on the app all day long. And that's another thing to think about, guys. If you find yourself on here, like for instance, say suppose if you want to make $100 for the day, or $75 or $200, like however, but if you want to make a certain amount, and you want to get off at a particular time, but you find yourself stretching long hours just to make a small amount of money, that's something also to consider. Because I started thinking about that. I'm thinking, okay, if I hop on the app at 10 a.m. and done by 10 p.m., that's like 12 hours basically, or 11 hours, whatever. And so, like, why would I stay on there all day trying to make some extra money to just make barely $100? And basically that took up my whole day doing nothing to me. And where this opportunity to make $100, at least working a job, or at least coming close to that amount, depending on how much I earn per hour or salary or whatever, And so some of you guys may want to work just 8 hours a day, 8 to 5 or 8 to 6 or 9 to 6 or whatever, but you find yourself on these apps and you're like, you know what, I can't do that in 8 hours. Like, I can't make $200 in 8 hours, or I can't make $150, whatever, because it's not in your market. It may not be for you in your market, you know what I mean? And so, but just do what's best for you guys. I just kind of, like, my heart is just like feeling heavy, because I just kind of feel like some of you guys are in that place, and I've been there, like, to where you feel like, okay, I don't know what else to do, or I'm always going from, I'm always cashing out every single day, or maybe twice a day and stuff like that. And I understand, I've done that lots of times, like, who hasn't? But if you're finding yourself not being content with this, I'm saying, you guys, do not feel bad if you gotta get a job. It's okay, like, it's good, and then maybe like when things get better with where you are working, or once you get a job, then maybe you might find something better than that, or maybe it might be time to go back to school or something, but please don't stay there. And then, especially if you have the opportunity to find other opportunities, don't just stay in this one place thinking that these app-based gigs are all there is, and I'm praying that you guys will get favor for that you guys will get favor with a new job or a new business opportunity, or get promoted. So, like, some of you guys already have jobs, and so these side gigs are great, because it helps you pay for your, your kids' tuition, or maybe for your extra bills, or your tuition, like whatever it is that you need. And so maybe medications. Like, I know people have medications, like I've talked to people that are cancer patients that, do these gigs because they can't work. And I totally understand that, and it's okay. But for those of you guys that can, and those of you guys that are able, like, I know some of you guys have tried, and you're trying to make this work, but when you see something's not working anymore, it's okay to shift your focus to somewhere else. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't mean that you failed. It just means that your seasons are changing. And we got to be able to recognize when your season is changing. And so with this whole Uber apocalypse, where the server went down allegedly, this should be like a lesson for all of us, even for me too. Like, we can't rely on these sometimes to get us by, especially when there could always be an app glitch. Something can happen to our tips. There's so many things that can happen. But if you're able to do this full time, then go for it, full speed ahead. But if you know that you're struggling and it's not working out no more, then do you, and just roll with it. So I hope this helped you guys. If you guys have any questions, you guys can always shoot me an email. It's better if you guys email me questions, because I know people have been commenting like a whole bunch of questions. Some of them are petty, but some of them are like long questions. And so it's better if you just email most of the time, because I see them sometimes, but I don't see them. So anyway, God bless y'all. Have a great weekend, and I will upload more. Peace.